Welcome back, true believers and all you gamers out there, to another very interesting video. Now, we're not really going to dive into any recent updates pertaining to this particular subject matter, but considering that there is quite a lot of discussion surrounding it as of late, and also I personally find myself in a very interesting situation compared to other gaming YouTubers out there, I do think that it's kind of important to actually elaborate more upon this and just kind of have a general discussion as to where we currently stand in the realm of next gen and what we can expect going forward once we do receive more massive next generation games in the coming years, primarily of course from the company of Sony with PlayStation. And of course, I am referring to the main next-gen console of the PlayStation 5. Now, of course, I don't mean to bring this up in any way to diss on the other party, of course, with Microsoft and their new next-generation platform of the Xbox Series X. It's just mainly for me. I am a PlayStation fan first and foremost, and considering you guys, my main audience, I think we can all agree of the primary factor as to why we like PlayStation so much, with our favorite webhead being an exclusive title on said platform. So seeing exactly where the future of that platform can go essentially also indicates where the future of Spider-Man can go on the platform as well. But considering my particular situation with the entire next-gen platform scenario is that I don't have one. I don't have a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X, which does come in kind of a upsetting circumstance, seeing that I do want to actually create content for these brand new next-gen games for the channel to showcase to you guys who don't have one. I am, though, in the same boat as you, being more the common folk who was not able to acquire a new console given the whole pre-order crisis and the shortage issue that is currently going on with Sony and Microsoft and these retailers, and of course scalpers stealing the consoles every chance they get, which does make it pretty darn irritating for someone like me, and I'm sure a bunch of you guys out there who do genuinely want to buy the console and play these next generation exclusive games, or just immerse yourself into a more fully well-developed experience compared to what we currently have on our PS4s, PS4 Pros. And that is exactly the type of discussion that I did want to have with you all today, is just kind of putting it out there in the air, is should you be worried if you personally do not currently own a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X? But just to keep the matter same for this overall subject, and considering again that PlayStation is the main platform in which our boy Spidey is on, we're mainly going to just be referring to the PlayStation 5 as the main next-gen console going forward. So the first question that I do think we have to ask is, why exactly do people want to buy and own the PlayStation 5 in the first place? Because if you have been keeping up with the news, you would see that the PlayStation 5 has become the fastest selling next generation console, and just console in general within United States history. It has currently surpassed the overall sales what we saw with the PlayStation 4 with its launch back in 2013, and same goes for all the other iterations of the PlayStation, the Xbox, and even the other Nintendo consoles like the Switch and the Wii, and so on and so forth. So it's no doubt that the console as it stands is extremely popular amongst consumers, and has also confirmed to have double the overall success rate as to what we are currently seeing with the Xbox Series X. And I don't know about you guys, but the main reason as to why I personally as a gamer go out and decide to buy these types of gaming consoles rather than playing on a PC or even a other console like an Xbox or a Nintendo Switch is because of the games that come with said console. Mainly, of course, in the realm of PlayStation, the exclusives that do have a bunch of added benefits to fully running on a next-gen console. With that obviously being ray tracing, 60 FPS, faster loading times thanks to the SSD, and mainly the primary feature which I'm actually very excited to try for myself, with that of course being the DualSense Controller, with the added features of the adaptive triggers and haptic feedback, trying to make you as the player become more immersed within the game that you are currently playing. But mainly for the case of the PlayStation 5, considering that it has been out in the market, if you are able to actually buy one through online retailers, for over half a year now, ever since its main launch on November 12th of 2020, there hasn't been as much first-party PlayStation 5 exclusive-only titles compared to what we saw with the PlayStation 4. But again, that's obviously because we just received the PlayStation 5 not too long ago. And it was also recently reported, which I did bring up in a video, which I will leave in a link in the description below, that as it currently stands, Sony Interactive Entertainment is currently developing over 25 first-party PlayStation 5 exclusive titles only for that platform, where half of those are actually indie titles and the other ones are going to be more of the well-known franchises, obviously with that most likely being God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, and of course Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Granted, Horizon Forbidden West is going to be a cross-gen game where it is also going to run on a PlayStation 4, but it still is currently being developed for the PlayStation 5. And alongside of this, we do actually have quite a lot of info from the main CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment himself, of Jim Ryan, where he did highlight some extremely important factors to the future of the PlayStation brand that we are most likely going to see start happening within the year of 2022. And based on what he indicated, Jim Ryan did point out that the PlayStation 4 owners will still have support for that console leading up to the year of 2022, meaning that most likely a majority of the games that are going to release within this year and next year are going to be cross-gen, similar to what we saw with Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, and of course, as I just mentioned, Horizon Forbidden West. But on the flip side of that scenario, like I previously mentioned, is that there are over 25 massive PlayStation 5 only exclusive titles currently in development for that console that will most likely start to release within the year of 2022 as well. And on top of that, even though it is a very drastic problem for a lot of us to deal with, again, myself included, is that the shortage crisis revolving around the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, and a majority of people not able to purchase one online due to the whole scalper problem and just not enough in stock in general, that issue is still said to be occurring leading up into the year and probably afterwards of 2022 and maybe going into 2023 as well. So this is a fairly common problem amongst the majority of next generation console launches, where there is a very high demand for the system in itself amongst general consumers, but very little supply to actually give to every single consumer who does want to make said purchase. But knowing that the sales of the PS5 do slowly increase each and every month, it does show that the interest that the overall consumer base does have for the platform is at an all-time high. It's simply that the problem is that there aren't enough to meet the demand from the fans at hand. So based on everything that I brought up relating to the overall shortage crisis of the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, with Sony's overall focus of making more PS5 exclusives for that platform in the near future, but also Sony remaining adamant to the PS4 console leading up to next year of 2022, we do come back to this question of should you actually be worried about not currently owning a PS5 platform as it currently stands right now. And honestly, I would actually say no, and this does come from someone who only owns a PlayStation 4 Pro platform as the main current generation console that I do use to actually play video games. And the reason why is because not only are there not enough games to actually justify a purchase for the PS5 in its entirety, but you can still play a massive majority of these games that are running better on the PS5 still on your PS4 or PS4 Pro. Now, of course, there are obvious exceptions with this where we do actually have quite a few PS5 exclusives as of right now that are getting a lot of people very interested within the console, mainly, of course, with Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered, which is a remaster of a game which does look and run just fine on a PS4 and PS4 Pro. We also have Returnal from Housemarque, which is a very trippy sci-fi third-person action-adventure game, which does look very enjoyable and does utilize all the capabilities of the PS5 in the best possible way. And coming next month, we do also have Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart from Insomniac Games, which is going to showcase exactly how powerful the PS5 can be through the use of Insomniac's talent with the SSD and overall visual fidelity to truly showcase Ratchet & Clank in a very new next-generation way that wasn't possible before on the PS4 version that we did see back in 2016. So obviously, you are going to miss out on some of these experiences that are currently released on the PS5 as it stands, but for the majority of the games that are currently out there on the market, you are still able to fully play them in a great way on your current gen PlayStation 4. However, we do see Sony including 60 FPS PS5 patches for some of these massive AAA PS4 games, mainly for their first-party studios, for example, God of War, and recently The Last of Us Part 2, where they're not remaking the game for PS5, but they are enhancing them even further with better resolution and better frame rate for the PS5 to make it a quote-unquote better next-generation experience. So in my personal opinion, I don't think it's a necessity for you to actually go out and buy the console as of right now, but obviously, since we are moving within the era of next-gen relating to both the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, obviously down the line within 2022 and 2023, game developers are obviously going to start working more on these massive games that take years and years and years to fully finish and polish with development and graphic quality and just running properly on these next-gen consoles as it stands, then I would say maybe 2 to 3 years down the line, we are going to see the obvious focus shift from game developers making these brand new exclusives and just proper games in general running solely on these next-gen platforms with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. However, as of right now, I don't think you have to worry. But by the time, obviously, newer, massive experiences start to release from these AAA developers, mainly from the first-party studios, with, of course, mainly from Insomniac Games relating to Marvel's Spider-Man 2, most likely going to be a PS5 exclusive. And at that point, if you still don't have one, then that is obviously going to be a cause for concern for quite a lot of people who are still unable to acquire the console due to the shortage crisis. But on a positive note, Jim Ryan also indicated that they are trying to help manufacture more consoles so that way more people can acquire the platform for themselves, and by the time 2022 and 2023 arrives, hopefully there will be more systems within the general market for the majority of consumers to go out and purchase and simply enjoy and immerse themselves within these brand new next generation games. And based on everything that I've seen so far from both these PS5 exclusive titles like Returnal, but also the enhancements that we have seen with a native PS5 edition for a game, again, like Miles Morales or even Marvel's Avengers running on PS5, and also these AAA exclusives like Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered, Returnal, and obviously what we're currently seeing with Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, there is obviously a massive difference in the quality that the next generation platform can offer compared to what the PS4 and PS4 Pro can currently do. And based on everything that Jim Ryan indicated about what we can expect as gamers from Sony within 2022 and 2023, I don't think we've really seen the full potential of what the PS5 is truly capable of. But once we do actually come into those years, I do think that is when it is going to be a massive decision from a consumer point to see whether or not you truly want to invest money to go out and buy this console. But as it stands right now, I'm currently in love with my PS4 Pro. I do really want a PS5, but I don't think it's a necessity as it stands at this very moment. But with all that said, everyone, that is the video that I had for you today. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed this discussion about PlayStation and the future that we can expect from Sony Interactive Entertainment. I'm a huge gamer, so seeing where exactly the gaming front can go down the line is always exciting for me. Feel free to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy and for more amazing content like this. Again, I will leave links to the videos that I did mention in the description below. But until next time, thank you all so much for watching. Stay awesome, true believers, and stay fantastic, gamers. And until next time, peace out.